Silas McCrae already had her hand in his when his other hand moved toward his rifle for just an instant. It was the kind of moment a man carries for the rest of his days. Clara Bennett knelt in the warm summer dust outside his cabin near Laramie, barefoot, trembling, marked with bruises, her torn dress clinging to skin that had endured too much. Now she knelt before a mountain man twice her age, her fingers caught in his rough grip, her eyes wide with a fear that bordered on panic. "Please, don't let them find me." Her voice broke on the last word. Silas gave no reply. He didn't release her hand either. Instead, he lowered himself into the dirt so they were eye level, his broad frame casting shade over her like a barrier against the sun. His hair was tied back, his beard streaked with gray from long years in the Rockies. The blue bandana at his throat was darkened by sweat. His coat hung loose over one shoulder, and beneath it his chest rose slowly and steadily, like a man who had learned long ago that panic was deadly. A faint sound rolled down the trail, and for a heartbeat he looked like danger itself. Her fingers tightened around his. "They're searching for me," she whispered. "My husband sent them." Silas's jaw shifted once, slow and deliberate. He had known her father, Thomas Bennett, back near Fort Laramie. When he finally spoke, his voice was low and calm. "Who's riding?" Clara swallowed. Clara swallowed. "Men from town. Deputies." He told them, "I'm not well, that I ran off with something that doesn't belong to me." That was when Silas noticed the bundle. Clara held it tightly against her ribs, wrapped in worn cloth, clutched with the desperation of someone guarding their last breath. Even trembling, Eben Keneling, she never loosened her hold. Silas eased his grip just enough to turn her hand palm up. Her knuckles were split not from falling, but from fighting. She had fought for a door, for air, for a chance to escape. His eyes moved not to her bruises or torn hem, but to the shape beneath the cloth. Paper. Thick. Official by the feel of it. The wind carried the sound again. Closer now. Silas rose halfway, still holding her hand. His shadow deepened over her, making him look like a man about to drag her up and hand her over. Instead, he lowered himself back down until their faces were inches apart. "You came here for a reason," he said. She nodded once. "My father told me, if anything ever went wrong, to find you. He drew me a map once. I followed it today." Something in Silas's expression shifted then, not softer, not kinder, certain. His left hand never left hers. His right moved slowly toward the cabin doorway, toward the rifle leaning just inside. He didn't lift it. He simply rested his palm against the worn stock, like marking a line in the dirt no one was allowed to cross. A silent promise. Clara drew a shaky breath and loosened the cloth just enough to reveal a corner of paper, a red county seal pressed hard into wax. Silas didn't need to read it. Whatever lay in that bundle frightened a judge more than any runaway wife ever could. Down the trail, riders were coming. Silas kept one hand on the rifle and the other wrapped around Clara's fingers. Her father had trusted him. That was why she had come. She told him her husband was Judge Horace Whitfield in Laramie. That title opened doors and sealed mouths. She said he smiled in church and shook hands in town, but turned cruel at home when the lamps burned low. She said the deputies listened because their wages and futures ran through his friends. Silas glanced at the bundle again and asked the only question that mattered without forcing her to relive the pain. "What did you take, and why does it scare him?" Clara revealed more paper. Court filings. "Official seals. I found them where he keeps private things," she said. "I heard him tell a railroad man no one could ever see them." She spoke the word railroad like it meant a blade. Silas felt his stomach tighten. Men with power rarely struck so hard unless they believed they owned the law itself. The dust settled on the town of redemption like a forgotten promise. "My name's Jedediah, and I rode in, not looking for trouble. But trouble has a way of finding a man with a past. It found me in the form of Elara, a woman with eyes that held the fire of a desert sunset, and a secret that could burn this whole town to the ground. She was running. You see, running from Judge Thorne, a man whose gavel was as heavy as his greed, and whose law was written in blood and fear. Thorne wanted her family's land, a patch of earth rumored to hold more than just memories. He'd used his power to twist the law into a noose, and it was tightening around Elara's neck. He called her a criminal, a debtor, a liar. I saw something else. I saw a fighter, and maybe, just maybe, I saw a chance for my own redemption. The townsfolk, they just looked away, their fear a currency Thorne spent freely. They knew challenging him was a death sentence. I met Elara in the dusty back room of the saloon. She offered me gold to get her to the state line. I looked at the fear in her eyes, warring with a stubborn pride, and I saw a reflection of a life I'd left behind. "Keep your gold," I told her. "Some things a man does for free." That's when I knew this wasn't about money anymore. This was about drawing a line in the sand. Thorne owned the sheriff, the deputies, and the fear in every heart in town. But he didn't own me. The first confrontation was at dawn. 2 of Thorne's hired guns tried to corner me outside the stables. They were fast, but I was faster. Their mistake was thinking I was just another drifter. They didn't know I'd spent years learning the deadly language of the gun. The message was sent. Now Thorne knows I'm not just passing through. He knows a storm is coming to redemption, and I'll be standing in the middle of it with Elara right behind me. The final showdown is inevitable. It won't be in a courtroom, but in the sun-scorched street, where the only law is the one you make for yourself. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for the next part of the story.